Rightio, welcome everybody to our
Hi, everybody.
travel Zoom information meeting. So a warm welcome to everybody. I'll let Sharon lead. We're going to talk about 3 trips, Sharon, that we got going.
Yeah, I'll talk about the three trips we've got going
Yep.
and then some other plans that we've got in store that we're researching.
Okay. All
So,
right.
the first trip is that I'll talk about, I'll talk it in sequence of dates, is Fiji, phenomenal Fiji, and that's the 6th to 12th, and we've only got, I think, two or three spots left on that one. I've got a few people inquiring on the trip. I've got a cut off on that, and I think it's only a week away for Fiji. So anybody that's thinking about Fiji, I'll put that up on the group page. Fiji, staying at I'm reading the brochure, so excuse me for looking down. Staying at the Pearl South Pacific Resort. Before George and myself put a trip on, George, we had this trip ready to go live, and George went, no, 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 no. So he flew over, met the dive operator, stayed at the resort, and we do that before we do a trip to make sure that everything's going to be amazing for everybody. And so we're staying at the Pearl South Pacific Resort and Golf Course, 7 days, 6 nights, fully escorted, of course, with George and Sharon. Return flights, transfers, daily buffet breakfast, lunches on water days, welcome dinner and drinks. I think you've got half an hour of flowing drinks at the start of the meal. Entertainment on the evenings when we're dining together. Merchandise pack, obviously, we always do that. You're going to get a resort massage inside that inclusion. There'll be cultural entertainment. There's a complimentary sunset cruise, which you can actually book for when you want to go on it. So it won't be a regimented time for that. There's kayaking and paddle boards, river cruise, a Lovo dinner, which we're going to organise for the last night. So the first night we'll have a welcome dinner, and the last night we'll have a farewell dinner, so that the other nights you could go exploring where you want to go. One day you're going to get back, I think it's the second one, you're going to get back about lunchtime, just after lunch. So you've got that whole afternoon, and then you've got a day off in the middle, and you've got a day off on the end. We always have a day off on the end of all our trips because divers can't fly for 24 hours. The Lovo dinner's quite exciting, actually. That's one of those ones where they cook it in the ground. So it's a traditional Fijian Lovo dinner, and they've got games and activities. They've got cultural classes on, cooking, language, carver classes, um, all sorts of classes they've got on. An amazing range of classes. Dances and entertainment. There's guided walks. There's a kayaking tour, sporting activities, and there's so much there at the resort. So the main, what is it, Nadi, the main area, George?
Yep.
Nadi.
Yep.
So we're not far from Nadi, so you can actually hop on a in a cab and go off to Nadi and have a dinner in Nadi or explore Nadi. There's all other options. You can visit the local villages. You can do whitewater rafting. There's extra spa treatments, local tours, island tours, night dive options, uh, extra snorkeling you can do. There's a bike tour that you can do. It's Suva. Sorry, it's not Nadi. It's Suva is the town. That's the one where you'd go and have a bit of fun and go out at night. We'll probably do that the second night and go out there to Suva and have dinner up there. Um, There's museums up there, handcraft centre. You can visit the local markets, and there's so much more to do in Fiji. So Bali is, hi Dave, Bali's
Not
a
Bali.
little, Not Bali, but no, I'm talking about Bali. Bali's an interesting trip. We've all just been on it. About 30 souls went over, and it was an amazing trip. And there's so much to do over there besides under the water. So when George and myself put a trip on, we try and make it a really good cultural experience for you as well as it being about diving and snorkeling. Bali was an absolute hit and actually can't wait go back next year. I think we've got people going back for the third time next year, so that's how good it is. Fiji, Saturday, 6th of September. And look, I don't think I need to go through the whole itinerary. It's a meet up at Brisbane Airport. We arrive in Nadi at 3:10 local time. We'll get a shuttle that will collect us. It's a very good scenic 2.5 hour journey back to the Pacific Harbour. And we arrive at 6:30 and then we're going to freshen up and then go to our dinner and drinks. Every day on this trip, there's an expansive buffet breakfast, probably not unlike what we had on Bali for those that went. And George will take you through the water side of Fiji because he's been over and he's met the dive operators and snorkel operators. What else can I tell you about Fiji? It's quite good prices for grabbing a cab and going somewhere. Usually on a trip, we
This is
buddy up and
really big, wide,
Oh, sorry,
lay
sorry.
down area.
say that again.
That's okay. Keep going.
Sorry. And the resort's amazing. So you can really enjoy the resort facilities. They're phenomenal. I think George put a video up of the resort. And then you've got, where's everybody gone?
I've shared my screen, Sharon, so they can watch.
Ah, sorry, darling. So there's so much more than what I can tell you about this trip. It's absolutely incredible. So look, we've only got, I think, 2 or 3 spots. I've got someone inquiring at the moment, so I'm saying two, maybe 3 spots left on that trip. And I'm cutting that trip off in probably about a week. So anyone that wants to go to Fiji, I have never been to Fiji and I can't wait to go. Then we've got a really good crew going.
All
Okay.
right. Can I talk a
So
bit about it,
George, you can
Sharon?
talk about the water.
Rightio. So, with Fiji, the hotel's exquisite. You're going to love the hotel. The rooms are quite large, and they've all got views of either the river or the ocean. And down below, there's finely manicured lawns. There's 2 pools. One's an infinity pool. One's the common pool in the area. Every morning, a great buffet breakfast. They'll cook you special eggs and there's cereals and there's plenty of food there. We have a hearty breakfast and then we walk over to the dive shop, which is probably only 5, 6, 7 minutes away. And the the resort is sort of landlocked. When you cross the road, you get out into civilization. So the meals at the hotel are probably around 20 Aussies. But if you walk out across the road, there's some restaurants out there where you can get a local curry or something from a family restaurant for something like $8. Really cheap. And the other thing you can do is you can catch a cab down the road to a big sort of a marketplace, and the cab's going to cost you $6. And you go in there, there's a range of restaurants and shops. There's also a big supermarket down the road, and where there's a Korean restaurant and also a big supermarket where you can stock up on supplies of water and soft drinks and snacks and so on.
You can
So
take snacks over with you.
can take snacks
If
over
you're
with
a
you.
chocoholic or anything like that, take some snacks over with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we
So
flying with, Sharon?
Virgin.
Virgin. Okay. So the Virgin flight's fairly short. It's a 2 hour run up to the
Two and a half
hotel.
hours.
And then, so you walk across the road to the dive shop. The dive shop has just taken delivery of a brand new catamaran that they use for diving and snorkeling. And has anyone ever been to Fiji before and done shark feeding? Anyone ever done it? Yep, Adam.
Of course he has.
I've been over there about 5 times to Fiji, and the first group I led I think it was in 2018 for Kira Dive. I was an instructor there. Had an absolute ball. And
Can I just say something about that?
yep,
This trip's actually, I believe, cheaper than the trip back then.
yeah, probably.
So yeah, it is. So,
Yeah, but the hotel that was saying it's much better. Now,
I
when I
hustled
go
them.
over to inspect the dive shop, I look for things like, hey, when you get up on the ladder, is there anywhere that you're going to lose an appendage, a finger, because they haven't built it correctly? I'm looking at safety. I insist on VIP treatment. So for anyone that needs any help, do not get out of the boat with your gear on. Take it off. They'll walk it up for you, and just walk up without any pressure on your bones. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
staff are lovely, aren't they?
the When I was getting back on the boat last time, I was walking up the stairs and I'm going, oh, I lost my tank. But what they'd done, they'd actually, listen to this, they'd removed my tank off my BCD and released the regs. And I walked up with my BCD on, but no tank. This is the type of service that they give you. So if you haven't been to Fiji, the water there is pretty amazing. The visibility is fantastic. For scuba divers, we've got a wreck dive. We've got a shark dive, and I'll just tell you a bit about what the shark dive's about. Um, you go down to a region, there's a bommy behind you, and 12 divers, 12 divers, we're in a semicircle, and the dive leader opens up these big, like our rubbish bins, our big wheelie bins, and he opens up and he lets out tuna heads. And it's on for young and old. There's 8 varieties of sharks that come circling, and behind you there's guides there with these big prongs, and they push the sharks away if the sharks get close to you. It's absolutely a stunning experience. Your jaw will drop. You will absolutely love it. And this all happens in about 10 meters of water, right? So I think we do 2 dives there. And then the next day we've got a wreck dive, and then there's a lot of coral bommies, great coral, plate coral, soft corals, hard corals, plenty of anemones, plenty of marine life. The wreck, if you go into our main discussion page and put Fiji in there, enter, it'll come up with all my posts. And one of them shows the wreck diving. And there's one wreck there. It's a Vietnamese trawler, and the colours of all the growth on it are amazing. Quite like nothing that I've seen anywhere around the world. So it's quite good. Now, snorkeling is another pretty amazing experience in Fiji. Uh, when I asked Sharon to put a trip together, I asked her to look for Hollywood under the water. So she's ringing up dive shops going, we want Hollywood under the water. And they're going, what do you mean? And they finally get it. So once
I think
again,
Sue Moff's got Hollywood under the water with her manta rays.
yeah, we did
Yeah.
that. And then if you go once again to the discussion page and search for Fiji, there's quite a few videos I've made of the snorkeling. The water's crystal clear. It's shallow. It's safe. There's bommies. There's swim throughs. Such an amazing experience. I think Sharon's also arranged for one day we have lunch on one of the
I was just going to
island
say
beaches.
that. That actually happened later in organising the trip, in talking to the owners of the dive shop. And I said, any chance of us getting to an island during being in the water while you guys are in the water? So we're paying the extra money to the chief of the island so we can go there on the island and have lunch on the island. So that'll be
Yep.
absolutely beautiful.
And I think you'll find that there's cats walking around the beach. Have you ever seen cats walking on a beach? And there's hammocks on there, and you're lying in a hammock, and a cat just jumps on you, and they're little baby cats, and they're really friendly. It's such a beautiful experience. So we fly into Suva. The resort's 2 hours away, but then an hour up the road is the capital of Fiji, um, which is what did I
Now,
say?
I think we fly into Nadi,
Nadi. And then now up the road is,
and then we go to Suva. That's the town where a bit of nightlife is,
yeah,
and
that's where we will get arrested. You'll get thrown into jail. There'll be bad shit happening. There'll be stories to tell when you get home. And when you travel with us, if you haven't traveled with GCDS, there's a few things that we do. We have a pre-trip dinner or lunch, and that's a great opportunity where we get to meet each other. You'll get to meet your room buddy. If on any trip, if you haven't met your room buddy, let us know and we'll get you together at one of the meet and greets. The other thing that we do is we set up a chat group for all the members. So in the days leading in, there's a lot of information exchanged about, do I withdraw cash? How much cash do I need for the trip? Um, what can I take on the plane? What can't I? So you'll be informed of absolutely everything. You'll get informed of the culture, what to expect. Um, and the chat group's great. We don't manage your spare time when you're on a trip. That belongs to you. But the chat group's set up so you can say, hey guys, I'm going into Suva. Who wants to come with me tonight? Or hey guys, I'm going to go for a walk or I'm going to go on a special tour. And it's a great way of connecting with everyone. But safety is paramount. You can go anywhere you want when you're on our trips in your spare time. But please just let me know so I know when to call the police to come looking for you or whether I should come looking
Also,
for you.
we'll always let you know every day. We always let you know what George and myself are doing, so that if you need to get in contact with us, look, the chat's probably the best way. But everybody will have my number,
Yeah.
so you can have access.
And then we also share our photos if you want at the end of the trip on the chat group. People make videos. There's a lot of social media stuff happening. Also, when you're traveling with us, I strongly recommend that you get travel insurance. Sharon and I have an annual travel policy, and look, it costs us around $1,000 a year, and it covers us for all of the world except for the USA. And we use Covermore.
And that's
So
for both of us.
yes, I don't know if I included you this year. Um, Listen, it's $1,000 for both of us. And what happens is, and I've actually used it a fair bit. If you get stranded somewhere, and let's say you amass 2 or 3 nights spare accommodation, cab, uh, extra cab fares to get back to the hotel, you lose your luggage. There's an online portal. You don't get on a queue on a phone that'll take you an hour. You get on a portal, you scan your receipts and you send them up, and mysteriously 10 days later, this money arrives in your bank account. It's so good.
It also covers you for bad weather as well.
Bad weather, lost luggage, delays, all that stuff. So strongly recommend. Cover was the one that I
That's a
used.
really important point.
Yeah, some of them are a lot dearer. NAB I thought was free, actually $600 more. Anyway, that's that. I think that's all I need to say. So it's top class diving, top class snorkeling. The locals are amazing. There's they do fire dances for us at the resort, Sharon.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
Really,
I'm trying to organise that one for the first night. Well, I think I have.
yeah.
So the nights we're having our welcome and farewell dinner, I'm putting in there the cultural dancing and yeah, so it's
Cool.
going to be an amazing experience. As soon as you arrive, you'll feel the vibe of the culture in the hotel. Staff are gorgeous to deal with, absolutely amazing, like the Balinese staff were. And that makes a huge difference.
Cool. If you want to take a drone, you've got to get approval, but talk to me about that. I'll tell you how to get that done.
That
All right,
trip will
Sharon.
cut off. We're okay. We're fine, but the trip will be cutting off. I think it's in about 7 days. I'm cutting that trip off, and after that, there's no more bookings. So if I put a post up at everybody, anyone that watches this, that I do that for a particular reason, it might get a little bit annoying sometimes. You can, you'll know.
And listen, the reason there's a cut off, just so you know, when we put a trip on, Sharon's actually got to, it's like a casino, isn't it, Sharon? You've got to estimate how many people are going to go, and then you've got to pre-purchase the tickets. But in a week's time, you've got to, how does it work? You've got to give them back. Otherwise, we,
Well,
we,
what happens is if I put a group trip on, um, I've got to have a certain amount of numbers going on that trip when I book the package of airline tickets. And with Virgin, if I don't reach that criteria, I've got to pay for everybody's flights. So if it's $30,000 worth of flights or $25,000 worth of flights, I say to George, okay, we're ready to put Fiji up. These are the terms and conditions. And he goes, yep, put it up. It'll be fine. So yeah, it is a little bit of a like going to the casino
It's a bit of a gamble, so that's why
when you
we,
put a
we...
trip on, but it's fine. It's great.
Right, Sharon, move on to your next one now,
Hi,
please.
Sammy.
Hello, Sammy Clark.
Oh, Sammy Clark's just in time because Sammy Clark booked the Reef Encounter last night. So what happened was the Reef Encounter came back to me, and they had two extra spots and an extra cabin. And they came back to me, and I hadn't even gone live on it. And yesterday, uh, Sammy messaged me, and another lady who's a good friend of Sammy's messaged me, and it was just a coincidence. And they've booked to go on the Reef Encounter because we've got quite a good, we always have a wait list on our trips. Hi, Sammy. And like Bali, we had a gentleman going to Bali and he couldn't make it. He had to go overseas urgently. And that's a really good thing about group bookings because I've got a lot of conditions in there where I can sort of juggle things around a bit. But we had his spot filled within half an hour. So with Bali, so he didn't lose any money on the trip. And what normally happens is when you book one of our trips, it gets booked out, and we can usually do a change of name and just pop it up there. But I just made a phone call because he was sort of going, have you got a spot for Bali? I want to go to Bali. So he
Nice.
was
So,
very
Sharon,
happy.
so we now have the entire vessel for ourselves, correct?
Yes. So what the Reef Encounter has is called the top deck, and it's the cabins are no different than what any other cabin is, except I think there's an extra window. And the top deck is reserved for people that pay a lot of money. They pay a couple of grand to go on this trip, and they get wined and dined on the deck, and they get uh, a guide with them the whole time when they're in the water. There's a lot of things that go on. Hey, Sammy's little one. And so I spoke to Petra this week at the Reef Encounter, the lady that runs it, and I said, look, how you going with your top decks? She said, look, you can take it. I'm more than happy for your group to have it. So, of course, we get it at a regular price. So we got an extra two spots. So we've got 38 souls going on the Magical Reef Extravaganza this year. And next year it'll be 40. We're going to get those top deck cabins from the word get go. So the Reef Extravaganza, what can I say? I don't even think I need to look at any notes. We go to the airport. I think we meet about 6:30 in the morning. It's on your itinerary. Uh, and departure's 8:45. Yeah, so we'll be meeting at the airport probably about 7:30. And we have a short flight to Cairns, and we get picked up in a shuttle, and we get taken to the Novotel. And the Novotel's amazing, and Tracy Cunningham stayed there as well. And Tracy says that she loves the Novotel and she loves the pool area. So it's got a nice pool bar, and you can chill there, or you can go out into Cairns and do what you want the first day. That night, we've got a dinner. We always have it at the Rattle and Hum in Cairns, and we have the back to ourselves, the back section, and I bring platters out, and you can order drinks at the bar, and we have a really good night just getting to know each other.
Can I
If
just butt in,
anybody,
Sharon? Can I butt in,
sorry,
Sharon? Can I butt in for
so,
a second? So
yeah,
when we get to the Novotel Hotel, the tradition is, do you know you go into your closet and there's the white robes? You put on the white robes and the white slippers, and we go down the pool area and we're ordering cocktails and we spend the afternoon there.
if
Uh,
you want to do that sort of thing,
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
might not
And then, do
interest you.
you remember the days of SeaWorld, and they'd do all this skiing exhibits, and they'd have four skiers on the bottom row, and then there'd be three on their backs. And
Oh
remember
gosh.
that? We do these pyramids in the pool, so we actually take over the whole resort, and occasionally there's a bit of trouble, Sharon. Is that right?
Well, no,
No.
but yeah, but 38 of us, you can imagine we've had before the trip, we'll have a lunch. We usually have it at the Boardwalk Tavern in Hope Island because it's central for Brisbane people and Gold Coast people. It's not far off the M1. And we all get to know each other there. So by the time we get to the reef encounter, but just understand something on these trips. When I say, we all get to know each other and we all, spend time together on these trips, they're designed for you to be able to have downtime and do your own thing. So we don't enforce us all hanging out together and you having to do everything together. But the first night I do the rattle and hum. All your meals are paid for on this trip, every single meal except for the last night. And the reason I did not do a meal on the last night is because you may want to do something different. And it's your last night in Cairns. You might want to go up to the casino. You might want to, have a seafood feast at a restaurant on the Esplanade. We've made it that way specifically. Last year we did a combined dinner for everybody. And there's a few other people that actually just went and did their own thing, and I realised, you people would like to do that. And yeah, so all your meals are taken care of, rattle and hum, have a few drinks, get up the next day. We're not having breakfast at the hotel. I will put your luggage into shuttles. I'll get it. It's about a 10-minute walk to the marina. So everybody walks down to the marina. If you can wheel your luggage down, good on you. If you can't, you give it to me and I'll take it down to the marina and I stay with the luggage until you all arrive. And Kerry's really good at looking after luggage too with me. And so it's all organised, it's all safe down at the marina. We queue up for the vessel and we have a bit of shenanigans and whatnot in the queue. And when we get on to the vessel that takes us over there, which is really scenic and a lovely vessel, is it a catamaran, George?
Yep. Big cat. Yeah.
We have breakfast on there. So before you set sail, make sure you get your coffee because once you set sail, you can't get your coffee after that because it gets a bit wobbly on the boat. And they do a little egg McMuffins and bacon and fruit platters, and we have a great time on the vessel. And then we disembark. How long does it take us to get over? About an hour and a half?
Yeah, an hour and a quarter, depending.
Hour and
Yeah.
a quarter. And there's a beautiful, on the vessel going over, there's a beautiful deck, and you can just lie down up there and on the couches, and it's really comfy. And it's pretty exciting at that stage because there's for those that haven't been, or even those that have been, because there's many people going. George is going for his sixth time, I think, this reef encounter, and there's a lot of excitement and anticipation, and we disembark and we get on the reef encounter and we get checked into our rooms straight away. And then I think we are served lunch pre-dive. You get in the water. And the way the reef encounter, George and myself flew up to Cairns this year and we looked at a few liverboards. And nothing beats the configuration of the reef encounter because the bar, the dining room, the lounge suites is all in one area, and then the deck where you go diving is straight on that galley deck. So when people come out of snorkeling and diving, they've got these big smiles on their faces and they're sharing their stories, and everybody's together on that trip. There are private little areas. There's a top deck where there's a sunbeds up there and a hot tub, and you can go up there and you can escape and read a book. Or there's other areas around the boat with decks, and you can have some downtime as well. The cabins are ensuited, they're lovely, and it's not 5 star by any means. But I'd say probably 3.5 star type. Oh, there you go. There's the accommodation. They're the sort of seats on the deck there. Everybody sort of lounges around. Look, the cabins are lovely. You can see the views. Ensuite's really handy. And everybody's buddied up for those that you're buddied up with someone that you'll know or get on with or get to know. And often people will request who they want to be buddied up with. We've got 3 days on the reef encounter. It's magical. Chef prepared meals. And we're already talking about the menu now with everybody. That's just off the area of the lounge sort of area of the reef encounter. And it's incredible. At night, when you look over the side of the vessel, the fish are just mind-blowing. I remember going snorkeling, and I got down and got off the boat, and the staff were just laughing at me because there was this great big red, orangey groper fish chasing me and nipping at my bathers. And I had sort of a little jackety thing on, and I'm going, Hallie, hell, this fish is trying to bite me. And the staff go, no, that's Cheeky Charlie. He's really friendly. And so you'll meet Cheeky Charlie, and you can go out with a guide with snorkeling. They'll take you on. There's a marine guide there that takes you out and explains everything. I love doing that. I do it every time I go on. The Reef Encounter is just phenomenal. Lunch, buffet breakfast, and they give you a sit-down dinner. There's a bar there. You can order a bottle of wine, glass of wine, a drink, a bev, whatever you want. And this goes on. We're there till late afternoon that day. They give us a lay down room so you can shower. There's showers outside because you're going to keep it going in the water on your final day. And then that's the reef encounter. Oh, there's a helipad up the top, and you can see all the sunbeds there, and there's a hot tub, I think, there on the background. It's a good vessel. So yeah, the reef encounter is amazing. George will talk about the water in a sec, and then we go back to Cairns and we check back into the Novotel, and that's your time. There's tours that you can go on in Cairns. You might want to go to town, whatever you want to do. So you might want to go shopping or whatever. You've got enough time to do that. There's some local markets right near the Esplanade, right on the Esplanade at night, and they're actually really good value markets. And so that's our final night. We get up, we have breakfast, we congregate again, and I get you back on a shuttle and get you back to the airport. And phenomenal trip. I just can't wait to go on it. I can't wait to go back to Bali. I love our trips. So that's got to say something. I don't go because I've just got to escort you. I go because I really enjoy it. George, I'm going to hand over to you about the water because
Rightio, let's do it. So it's a 1.25 hour trip out to the reef encounter. There's a sense of anticipation. You don't know what you're going to walk into. And then you get onto the vessel. They call it a floating hotel. I've been on it 6 times. Some of our group members have been on it 5 times. Are the Atkinsons coming on it for the second time?
they are. They're flying up to have some time in Cairns
Why do you go twice? Why do people go 5 times? It is that good. It's a
because
great
it's
experience.
amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So for snorkelers, you go down a set of stairs on the back deck, and then you do 5 strokes, and then there's an amazing reef. It's all bommies there in your face. Nice live coral, nice pelagics, nice little fish. There's anemones. You'll see turtles. You'll see reef sharks from the surface. It's quite a beautiful experience. Totally safe. On the top deck, there is a surface watch, and they're watching every one of you snorkelers. And if there's any risk of any safety, they'll come and grab you and pull you back in. Okay. Scuba divers, once again, there's a briefing every time. There's about 5 reefs that we visit, and basically the vessel pulls into this semicircular shaped reef. It moors there. There's a dive briefing. We go down to 10 meters, and then we launch off on our little expedition. And they'll give you directions, and you can go and see. Has anyone ever seen a garden of clams? You'll see it at the reef encounter. There is night dives, which are pretty extraordinary. I'm not a big fan of night dives. I've probably, I've done a couple of thousand dives. I've only done maybe 20 or 30, but I really enjoy them on the reef encounter because what happens is you go down to 10 meters and you swim a little bit forward, and then you just park yourself in a position where you're on a highway of Maori wrasse, reef sharks, big cod, big gropers, and they're all just chasing each other round and round. And you set your camera up and you create some amazing footage. You feel totally safe. You're 10 to 15 The actual depth that you're allowed on a night dive is 10. The vessel's up behind you and it's actually illuminating everything. You won't get lost. You'll feel very safe. The water's going to be warm. You're going to go up, and then I think after that there's a cup of tea and dessert or supper at that time.
They actually have cereal out the whole time, so you can grab cereal. And I'm making sure that there'll be cookies and biscuits available for morning and afternoon tea for, for the sweet tooths. I'll take a
Nice.
few boxes of chockies up there for nights we can hand out. Um,
Can I
so,
just talk
and
about
you can buy some snacks at the bar too.
just a
But
couple more things? So I've said to Sharon, when we go on trips, I don't want Gold Coast Dive and Snorkel members lugging their dive gear around the country. So predominantly, she manages to negotiate or somehow scam, or I don't know what the word is,
hustle.
where the dive gear is included. So I use Reef Encounters dive gear. Some people want to take their own gear. Look, I understand that. Uh, I'm pretty, fussy with gear, but I'll use the Reef Encounters gear anytime. The regs are good. The BCDs are great. Take your own fins, probably. So they're comfortable. I got a massive foot, and last time when I went, I could only find a size 12 and a
Yeah, but we were
size.
the last people to get our gear.
Yeah,
So,
I could only get a size 12 and a size 13 fin, so I was going round and round in circles because I was sort of out of
was
sync a
not.
bit. So, if anything, take your mask and your fins, but use their gear. You don't want to be lugging that shit around the place.
Look, the
Um,
Reef Encounter, they want you to take, if you can take soft luggage, great. But you don't need a lot of stuff on the Reef Encounter. It's so casual. You just chuck something over your bathers, and they want you to keep your luggage as small as possible and as light as possible and as soft as possible if you can.
yeah.
It's a lot easier for them. They'll take it off you when you get on, and you'll get it back when you go to your
If you
room.
look at the brochure, it's crazy. Snorkelers 1750. Airfares, 2 nights at the Novotel, and then 2 nights on the vessel.
It is good
And
value.
it's just stupid money. It really
It's
is.
good value when you're on a liveaboard at that price. All your meals are included, accommodation, flights. It's fantastic.
Nice. All
But
right, Sharon.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
that's
they provide everything on there. Your towels. If you take, they do have sunscreen on board, George, and it's
yeah,
reef
I think so.
friendly.
Yeah.
But make
Sue
sure you
Moss.
take on your trips. Make sure you take reef friendly sunscreen.
Yeah, Sue Moss will provide all that. She's always got a
They
bucket
have a
load.
drink water station there, so always take a bottle on trips with you because
Yeah.
hotels have water stations as well.
Yeah,
Amazing trip.
when it comes to safety, they've got a little tender there. And look, I have been rescued once because I went out somewhere and I got lost and I was running out of air and I did the signal and they came and got me. They're very vigilant. They got binoculars, they're out looking for everyone. Uh, I'm the only person that ever got lost once. And one hell of a trip. It's so much fun. All right, Shaz, I think you need to move on to Lady Elliot. I want
Yep.
to get everyone.
Well, the
Um,
Reef Encounter sold out 5 months prior to departure, so
yeah,
that's how popular. So we have done two in a year, but we're just sort of trying to create other destinations too for you to go to. Lady Elliot, that's the next one. So don't you love the brochures? Do you like the brochures, guys?
I,
I
I,
do. I create those with my graphic artists. I think we had 29 takes on this one, sending it back to him and coming back. World class Lady Elliot, because it's a world class destination. People come from all over the world. With Lady Elliot, I try to get November. They're completely booked out. I got the last cabins. I mean, it is sold out. So I've got 7 eco cabins. And what eco cabins are, they're twin bunk beds. I'm not going to really put 4 people in a room. I'm going to try and keep it at two, at a stretch three. If you all know each other, you can handle having 3 people like Sue Moss and Margot and Sherry Strutton and that. You get a group of people, or Kerry and Tracy or whatever. But I'm not saying you people are coming on the trip, but you all get to know each other. Echo cabins are not air conditioned. They have a ceiling fan, and at that time of year, it's still quite pleasant in the room. And you can book in a pedestal fan, and you let Helen know if you want a pedestal fan. They're actually going to buy them and order them in, and I think they charge you $10 or $15 on your room if you want a pedestal fan. You got to let Helen know. Rightio. So the actual resort. Wow. Oh, and also we've got 4 twin rooms with air conditioning and an ensuite. We're sort of trying to keep couples in there because I cannot split the bed into, sorry, they're double rooms. I can't split those beds. So if you want to book that with a friend, be prepared to know that you'll be sharing a bed together. Linen Sue. But the upgrade price on that from the Echo cabin to that cabin is $400 per person. And that's genuine, a genuine upgrade price. So the accommodation's based on twin, triple. On the Echo cabin, it is shared bathroom facilities that are close to the cabins. It's really island type living. You've got to understand on these islands, they have limited access to electricity and what we have on the mainland. So return flights from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. Morning flight is an early flight. We're going to arrive, we're going to arrive early morning. They're going to try and get us on a glass bottom boat tour when we get there. So what this boat tour does, it actually familiarizes yourself with the island. And then at 1 o'clock that day, there is a dive, a scheduled dive. There's 5 dives on this trip. They do a dive at 7 and 1 o'clock. And so there's a dive at 7 o'clock and 1 o'clock the next day, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock the day after. And then obviously on the last day, you can't dive because you've got to fly. It's a light aircraft, it's scenic, and it's an amazing experience. We're going to try and get Dave Yago to pilot it, Georgie.
To be our tour
And
guide, yeah.
so they're very scenic, light aircraft. Uh, all your meals are provided on this trip, buffet breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you can go in and out as you please. With the snorkelers, I've booked 2 what's called safari snorkel trips. You got to remember on the island, unlimited snorkeling straight off the beach. No time frames. You just get in the water and you just snorkel. It's incredible. Um, Glass bottom boat tour. There's a lagoon bar overlooking the water. Now it's going to be turtle nesting season, so that's really, really spectacular. And what's really, really amazing is it's coral spawning season. And George could explain a bit about that, but I can't guarantee that activity because that's up to Mother Nature. So don't, if it doesn't happen for you, I apologize, but I just can't, I can't have a chat with Mother Nature and ask her to turn on Hollywood Under the Sea for you there. Um, Island tours. Um, there's Manta Lounge pool table. There's a reef education centre, saltwater pool, table tennis activities. There's a turtle room, all about the turtles. We're obviously giving you merchandise pack. We got $100 merchandise pack in there. There's a beach volleyball court. There's so much on there in that trip. And also every day the staff will put up on their whiteboard a list of activities for that day, and you can choose and pick what activities that you want to do, what tours they've got, or classes, or anything that they're doing. They have bingo nights. We can play bingo. They have activities at night, some entertainment. So yeah, it's all catered for. It's a great trip. There's a lot of people been asking for this trip, and so we just gave it a go. I know it's in December, but it's early December, so it won't interfere with school holidays or Christmas or whatnot. and very, very lucky to get these cabins. So once these cabins go, that's it. We will have no more availability. George, I'm going to hand over to you on Lady Elliot.
Rightio. So the excitement starts when you rock up at the airport, Gold Coast or Redcliffe. Is that right, Sharon?
Mm. So you can fly out of Reddy and you can fly out of the Goldie.
So I
So
think
yeah,
what'll happen is there'll be at least two planes leaving Gold Coast Airport. So it's so exciting because there's two planes take off, and you can see the plane behind or by your side with your buddies on the other plane. You get up to Lady Elliot, they do a bit of a circle, and as they're landing, they blow their air horn on the airplane, so the birds get off the runway. It's not a concrete runway; it's you're landing on grass, and when you rock up, there's a cocktail waiting for you. They take you in for a briefing straight away, and they give you a bit of an echo briefing. And then sometime not long after that, your gear's in your room. There's 3 meals every day provided. And like Sharon said, you can access the beach from any of your accommodation. Just walk down the beach and you can snorkel anytime.
it's absolutely magic.
So much to see. There's so many turtles, there's big gropers, there's small stuff, there's corals, all within reach. So make sure that you got your GoPro with you. It's going to be a great opportunity to get.
It's bird season up there too in summer, of course. So there's going to be a bit of passion in the trees
Yep,
and many
they'll be
different
breeding.
species of birds if you like birds.
Yeah,
They do bird watching tours. I love birds. I'm so fascinated with them.
yeah.
And yeah,
I can take them or leave them. Anyway, so the
the odds
diving,
visual.
there's a dive shop there. They'll hand out your gear. They'll throw it onto this vehicle. You'll get on the same vehicle. You cross the runway. You go down to a little beach. You gear up on the beach. You walk out onto this little barge vessel, and then it's only like a 3-minute run out through the channel, and they've got 15 dive sites. But the truth is, if we see 3 or 4 or 5 of them, you've seen pretty much everything. You'll be surprised that when you go out there, the water looks like someone's thrown blue ink into the water. Dark blue, clean. You go in and you just don't know what you're going to see. You're going to see reef sharks. You're going to see turtles. You may see some mantas. There'll be some leopard sharks. There'll be so much you can see. And it's not deep diving. What you'll find out about my philosophies when we do a dive trip, I'm not into doing 15, 20, 25-meter dives. I like to do them fairly shallow, around 15 meters, 10 meters, because that's where you're going to see all the great colors. Okay, so the diving's easy. You get back on the barge, take you back to the beach, walk onto the grass, and then you put your gear onto this little vehicle, and then you get carted back to the dive shop. There's a swimming pool there, and then their restaurant
Not that
area.
you use it much, probably.
No, you don't. There's no time for the pool. So plenty of time for you to snorkel, scuba dive, socializing. There's a lot of echo talks. You can get reef shoes there, and you can go reef walking. There's turtle tours. A lot to do. You're going to love it. It's a bucket list experience. It's probably going to be my 4th trip there. I can't get enough of it. It's going to be quite an exciting adventure for you. So make sure you got a camera. If you don't, just stick around with us, at meet and greets and any of our local events, and you'll very quickly learn how to use a GoPro. I can personally show you how to make great movies, what software to use, etc. There's a guy here called Dave Inder. Just give us a wave, Dave. Dave's pretty good with a GoPro. I'd probably say that
Oh, you are.
getting to an
And
influence,
Adam.
getting to an influencer stage out there. So rubbing shoulders with Dave Inder. Dave's running a few whale tours for us. You're doing Cook Island snorkeling this Saturday. I've got tickets available on that. But anyway, what you'll find, Lady Elliot, you're going to love it. The experience
Just
is absolutely brilliant. Yes, Sharon?
just the divers you've got your 7 o'clock, the first day you've got your 1 o'clock dive, and then the two following days, 7 and 1 o'clock. Breakfast is open early so you can have your breakfast before you dive. But just remember, divers, you have got unlimited snorkeling as well. So once you've done those dives in the afternoon or, in the during the day, you can go snorkeling. And the snorkeling is phenomenal up there. The staff are just raving about it. So yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. Water stations everywhere, so take a bottle. And also, they've got a gift shop. They sell a few snacks. There's chips and whatnot at the bar. So take some snacks with you if you want to. There's no fridges in the room, but they have filtered water stations around the island, cold water. Take a bottle. Always take a bottle on trips with you. And you can just hydrate yourself at the hydrating stations. Take your snacks, take your chockies and your little, what do you call it? Barbecue shapes and twisties, Margot Barter.
Oh, twisties, yeah.
I never saw
Right,
any of those twisties in Bali.
right, Sharon, is there anything else? That's
Lady Elliot, no. So yeah, I've got wow, 11 rooms. So that's a really limited trip. So if you're thinking about Lady Elliot, please get on. We've got so many people interested. And that was one of the main reasons we did the Zoom tonight as well, because to give us much information. And just get in touch with Helen, all shots at bigpond.com. Helen will send you the itinerary on the trips. And just because you email Helen doesn't mean you're locked into it, but you can get the itinerary and go through the itinerary. And there's a few pages there of the itinerary, which I spent a day putting together for you, and that'll give you all the details of the trip. I love doing this stuff.
You do.
I do.
And just to let you know, if you're a snorkeler and you sort of need to build your skills up, great opportunities when we have a meet and greet, like this Sunday, for argument's sake. If you let us know early enough, I can get you in the water, or one of our instructors or dive masters, and we can fine tune you, make sure you're uh, snorkeling properly. If you need gear, we've got some of the finest gear in the world that you can buy. Really good quality masks, good fins. If you want to learn how to scuba dive, where's Adam Riley? Give us a wave. Adam Riley's our instructor. He'll teach you how to scuba dive. And so if you want to get to Lady Elliot and scuba up there, get on Adam or get on me. I'll give you his number. Sign up with him. He'll get you your credentials. And then we've got a few months that we can knock up a few of your dives and get your competencies up before we get to the island or any of the trips
Adam's
whatsoever.
just given Hayley her certificate in scuba, and she's coming on Sunday to get in the water with George.
Send it
And
early. I don't think she's got
so
any.
we try and get people, if you get certified, or if you, and for the new people that watch this on the re-recording, the meet and greets are unbelievable to get in the water if you're a new snorkeler, and we'll help you get familiarized with the water and snorkeling before you go on a trip. So it's all planned with the meet and greets to help you, the new people as well. It's not just the regulars that go on the trips, it's the newbies that come on the group, and our people are absolutely incredible at welcoming the new people to the group, and often, we'll take somebody out and help them out. So yeah, Lady Elliot's really exciting, and looking forward to it. Really
Yeah.
looking forward to Lady Elliot. It's,
All right. And if you need your skills topped up, talk to me. Um, if you want to know who you can buddy with in a room or something, Sharon's really good at matching people, personalities, and all that. And
and I
that's
don't mind going through who's going and who you want to be buddied up with. I think we did a really good job in Bali, buddying everybody up. Everybody was really happy with their roommates.
we didn't have any
I put a
arguments or
lot, yeah,
anything.
You did.
yeah.
I really enjoyed my roommate.
That
Leisha and
was,
I are now
yeah.
friends. I caught up with her this week.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
And
fantastic.
yeah, and I'm going to see her again on Thursday. So we really enjoyed it. You did really well with that one.
That's
Good.
fantastic. Thank you
Yeah,
so
Sharon.
much. It's good
Sharon, did you
feedback.
did you want to let the cat out of the bag with some of the things
Yeah.
you've got coming for next
Yeah.
year?
So what I'm looking at the moment, I'm talking to a lot of people. I've got some good contacts. George myself have got a really good contact. I won't mention from where, but he has um, really good connections with the dive shops, Asia Pacific, New Zealand, Queensland, and he always points us in the right direction. So it's really important for us when we put a trip on that safety first is number one. Culturally, you have an amazing experience. You get Hollywood under the water, and you come back happy.
Don't leave us hanging. Where you want to take us, Sharon?
So I'm looking at the moment, I am looking at Vanuatu. We were going to go over. Don't think they're quite ready. We're quite ready to go to Vanuatu. But this year, as I say, George won't go to a resort or he will not let you go to a dive operator unless he's gone and checked it out. So George is going to fly in to Vanuatu and check out the resort I've got picked out. And I try and pick somewhere really nice. Like I'm not going to put you in like a backpackery type situation, and cost it in as well as I can. Do my hustle. And so we're looking at Vanuatu, and we're looking at Port Vila area, and looking at a really nice resort. Checking out a nice resort there, and that will have a lot of cultural experience in that trip. I'm looking at New Caledonia. I'm looking at Papua New Guinea. There's an island off Papua New Guinea that I'm having a look at the moment. I'm researching. There's a lot of people that say, "I'll try this place, I'll try that place." I do go online and I cost a trip out. I try to cost out Tonga. There's not a lot of as much cultural things to do over there. But to fly to Tonga was unbelievable. It was quite costly. I'll revisit that. But I'm looking at New Caledonia. Really want to get over to Hawaii. We've got people that have lived in Hawaii and ran dive shops over there. I think Hawaii would be just an amazing experience. And look, I think it's a 7 hour flight over or an 8 hour flight over to Hawaii. Look, in Hawaii, we've actually even looking into Japan. What's the name of the place? Oh,
Okinawa.
Okinawa. I can never remember that. It is the Mecca dive and snorkel area of Japan. It's like a lake that comes down from Japan, and it nearly touches Taiwan, and it's they call it it's very Americanized. There's a city in there that you'd think you're in America, inside that district, but there's also culturally incredible, like to be in Japan. So we're looking at Japan. Um, where else are we looking at, Georgie?
Vietnam, I think.
Yep. So we're trying to sort of stagger.
Yeah, I went to a Vietnamese restaurant for lunch today, Sharon. I didn't tell you that.
Okay, so you got it on for Vietnam. Okay, all right. So I think, next year I'll get Georgie overseas, checking out another couple of
So how
countries.
many trips do you plan to do overseas next year, Sharon?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe one, two, three, four,
Okay.
four trips overseas next year.
All right.
Maybe more.
All right. No worries. All right, Shaz, if there's nothing else, we should
Is there any questions anybody's got to ask? Is there any suggestions uh, where you would like to go on a trip?
I've
There's
got a
any-
question.
Sorry?
I've got a
Yep.
question.
Yep.
The get together before Fiji, where will that be?
That will be at the Boardwalk Tavern in Hope Island.
Oh, right. Lovely.
And
Lovely.
I will be messaging, absolutely, you know what I'm like. I message
Yep.
you and let you know everything that's going on. And it's really great. We get two tables overlooking the marina. We set it up and chocolate sprawled across the table. And
I've got a question for George.
yep.
George, the dive shop in Fiji, do you know if they have BCDs with integrated weights?
Um, look, most dive shops have BCDs with integrated weights, but because they lose the pockets, they give you a weight belt.
Yes, I lose weight belts.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes,
All
I'm
right. Well,
bad.
we can put a request in. Yeah.
I'm bloody hopeless, mate.
Yeah, we can put a request in.
Just email Helen and get her to put that on the comments, because
Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet for airlines, hotels, dive, because I've got to give the dive shops scuba snorkel certifications. And so if you put that in, I'll put that in on the comments on the manifest for the dive shop for Fiji for you.
If you could let me know either way, because I'll take my BCD.
I think George is going to ring the gentleman up that
I'll be
owns.
talking to them in the next 7 days. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Thank
what we
you.
talked to. Can you remember that one, Georgie?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. There's no further questions. We'll wrap it up. People are wanting to get to the game. So it's been a great evening. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Feel free to reach out
Thank
to
you.
Sharon or I or Helen, okay?
Look forward to traveling with you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Thank you all for attending.
Thanks all.
And we'll put a copy of this on the discussion page. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a
Bye.
lovely night.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.